turbine is a machine delivering mechanical power or thrust. It does this using a gaseous working fluid. The mechanical power generated can be used by, for example, an industrial device. The outgoing gaseous fluid can be used to generate thrust. In the gas turbine, there is a continuous flow of the working fluid. Efficiency is 20 to 30, whereas that of the steam power plant is 38 to 48%. Major application of the gas turbine: habitation, that is self-contained, lightweight, doesn't require cooling. Power generation, oil and gas industries, marine propulsion. Hot gases move through a multi-stage gas turbine like in a steam turbine. The gas turbine also has a stationary and moving blades. The stationary blades guide the moving gases to the rotor blades, adjusts its velocity. The shaft of the turbine is coupled a generator. Now we can understand the working of simple gas turbine from this diagram. Here air is compressed to a high pressure by a compressor. Here is a compressor, and the fuel and compressed air are mixed in a combustion chamber and ignite. Here fuel comes from the air and compressed air comes from the air and mixed together and ignited at a high temperature. Hot gases are given off which spin the turbine wheels. Gas turbine burns fuel such as pulverized coal here. And gas turbine have three main parts: air compression, combustion chamber here, and turbine. In turbine, the gases are expand and then exhaust. Advantage of the gas turbine power plants are: storage of fuel requires less area and handling is easy. The cost of maintenance is less. It is simple in construction. There is no need for boiler, condenser and other accessories as in the case of the steam power plant. Cheaper fuels such as kerosene, paraffins, benzene and powdered coal can be used, which are cheaper than the petrol and diesel which are used in other systems. Gas turbine plants can be used in water scarcity areas. Less pollution and less water is required. Now we come from the disadvantage of the gas turbine power plant. Here 66% of the power developed is used to drive the compressor. Therefore the gas turbine unit has a low thermal efficiency. The running speed of the gas turbine is in the range of 40,000 to 10 lakh RPM and the operating temperature is as high as 1100 to 1260 degrees Celsius. For this reason, special metal and alloys have to be used for the various parts of the turbine. High frequency noise from the compressor is objectionable. Now, for the calculating the performance of the gas turbine, here are some terms, that is pressure ratio. Ratio of the cycle's highest pressure to its lowest pressure, known as the pressure ratio. The ratio of net work output to the total work developed to the turbine is known as a work ratio. And the air ratio, kg of air entering the compressor inlet per unit of cycle net output, and unit is kg per kilowatt hour. Now next is compressor efficiency, ratio of work needed for the idle compressor through a given pressure range to work actually used by the compressor, as known as compressor efficiency. If we are talking about the engine efficiency, it is the ratio of work actually developed by the turbine expanding hot power gas through a given pressure range to that would be yielded for a idle expansion conditions. Now comes on the mechanical efficiency. It is a collective terms of the engine efficiency and a compressor. It is a combination of all the efficiencies. Now combustion efficiency, it is the ratio of heat actually released by 1 gram of the fuel to heat that would be released by complete perfect combustion. Now types of the gas turbine power plants. Here we can see the two types of gas turbine power plants. One is open and second one is closed. One is open cycle gas turbine power plant. In this type of a plant, the atmospheric air is charged into the system combustor through a compressor, and then exhaust of the turbine also discharged to the atmosphere. If you are talking about the closed cycle gas turbine power plant, in the system of the power plant, the mass of the air is constant or another suitable gas worked as a working medium and circulates through the cycle over and over again. Now, from this diagram we can understand the open cycle gas turbine power plant and its characteristics. The gas turbine actually operates on an open cycle. Air at ambient condition is drawn into the compressor. Here ambient air is come from this where its temperature and pressure are raised. The high pressure air proceeds to the combustion chamber where the fuel is burnt at a constant pressure. The high temperature gases then enter in the turbine. Where they expand to atmospheric pressure while producing power output. Some of the output power is used to drive the compressor. As we can see here, some of the power is used to drive the compressor. The exhaust gases leaving the turbines are thrown out. No recirculating. This is thrown out. Gases thrown out from the air. No recirculated, causing the cycle to be classified as an open cycle. Now we come on the PVTS diagram. The ideal cycle, that working fluid undergoes in the closed loop in a Brayton cycle. It is made up of 4 internally reversible processes. Here, process 1 to 2, that is isentropic compression, no change in entropy. From process 2 to 3, constant pressure heat addition. Process 3 to 4, that is isentropic expansion. Process 4 to 1, that is constant pressure heat rejection. The TS diagram for an ideal Brayton cycle is here. We can see here. Now, for improving the efficiency of these cycles, we can have a different methods. So, the methods of improvement of the thermal efficiency of the open cycle gas turbine plant, here intercooling, reheating and regeneration. Now, we can see the intercooling cycle. A compressor utilizes the measured percentage of the power developed by the gas turbine. The work required to compressor can be reduced by compressing the air into 2 stages and incorporation an intercooler between the 2 stages. Between 2 stages we can put an intercooler. So we can increase the efficiency by using this intercooler. Now we can see the TS diagram for this process. Here process 1 to 2 dash is a low pressure compression. Here we can see that 1 to 2 dash low pressure compression. Then 2 dash to 3, that is intercooling. 3 to 4 dash, that is higher compression. 4 dash to 5, that is combustion chamber, and we can add up to heat here. Now process 5 to 6 dash, that is expansion, which is done in turbine. Here in this diagram we can see the work ratio is increased. The thermal efficiency decreases, but it increases at a high pressure ratio. At a high pressure ratio it increases. Now we comes on the reheating. So the output of the gas turbine can be improved by expanding the gases into 2 stages with a reheater between the 2. We can add a reheater here. The heat turbine devices, the compressor and the low pressure turbine provides useful power output. Now we can see here TS diagram for a closed loop cycle, that is process 1 to 2 dash is a compression, 2 dash to 3 heating compression chamber, it is 3 dash to 4 dash turbine, that is the expansion, 4 dash to 5, that is reheater, 4 dash to 5, that is reheater, 5 to 6 dash is expansion, which is done in turbine. Net work output increases and thermal efficiency decreases. We can see here. Now comes on the regeneration. The exhaust gases from this can be goes from the out. The temperature above the ambient temperature is closed cycle can be used to the compressor, their heat be reducing the mass of the fuel supplied in the combustion chamber. Regenerative cycle has a more efficient than a simple cycle at a lower pressure ratio. We can see here lower pressure ratio. Above certain pressure limit, the efficiencies of cycle since drop. Cycle efficiency has dropped. The case regenerator will cool the compressor instead of heating it. Now we can see here the TS diagram. In TS diagram, from 2 days to 3 heat flows into the compressed air, that is heat exchanger. From 3 to 4 heat taken in the form of combustion fuel, and from 6 temperature of exhaust gases. Now comes on the closed cycle. We can see here in the diagram, the compression and the expansion process remains the same, but the combustion process is replaced by the constant pressure heat addition process from an external source. The exhaust process is replaced by constant pressure heat rejection, the process of the ambient air. Here in the open cycle we can use the ambient air, but in closed cycle we use air from the heat exchanger. Now comes on the TS diagram. Here process 1 to 2, the air is compressed isentropically from lower pressure P1 to the upper pressure, that is P2. Pressure from P1 to P2, and the temperature is rising from T1 to T2. From process 2 to 3, heat flows into the steam, increases its volume V2 to V3, and the temperature T2 to T3, the pressure remains constant. At P2, heat received, that is mCp del T, that is mCp T3 minus T2, and from process 3 to 4, the air is expanded isentropically from P2 to P1, and temperature T3 to T4, no heat flow occurs. For process 4 to 5, heat is rejected from the system as the volume decreases from V4 to V1, and the temperature from T4 to T1, pressure remains constant P1. Heat rejection, that is mCp del T. So here mCp T4 minus T1. Now comes on the merits and demerits of the closed loop cycle and the open loop cycle. So merits: higher thermal efficiency, reduced size, no contamination, improved heat transmission, lesser fluid friction, no loss in working medium, greater output, inexpensive fuels. Demerits: complexity, large amount of cooling water is required, dependent system because it depends on, not economically for moving vehicles as a weight per kilowatt developed is high, requires the use of very large air heaters. Thank you.